What's up, everybody? Ethan, find me on this,
I'm Jill at Coach Jill.April.
and welcome to the podcast. We are well underway on the live, so we figured we better get to work and introduce ourselves. You have a hard ready? No, you don't.
For the live, if you're new here, we do hards and joys at the beginning of every podcast. So hard is anything from your week, month, whatever that you want to say out loud of like something that's been inconvenient, annoying, straight up hard. And then after we do joys, so like something that brought you genuine joy, like not like, oh yeah, this was nice, like an actual moment of joy. So we'll share ours first. We'll share our hearts first, and then you guys can share yours in the chat, and then we'll do joys together.
And then we'll come back and we'll continue this conversation because I think that I'm having, this has been good conversation, so please keep asking your questions and we'll just keep going here and actually get this recorded. And thanks for being here, both of you. Hard. Something hard.
I got it.
I got mine.
Are you going first?
I can. I usually make you go first. And this has nothing to do with the person I love the most. It just has to do with the person I love the most. My heart is having to use my alert system to suss out that Jill's bleeding. And I say it with a smile on my face now, because it's hard when, as much as it's not my job to track her cycle or anything like that, it is my job to understand her to the best of my fucking ability. But my own traumas and my own worries and my own things like that can get in the way when all of a sudden her energy flips and we're in a tiff over something that catches me off guard. I don't understand what the fuck just happened. But there's like a very different way that her energy comes about those tiffs and those riffs. And then I'm sitting upstairs in like right after we've like butt heads in the weirdest way. And I'm sitting there rolling a joint going, hey, baby, my love, little one. And she's like to my right in the kitchen. Yeah. Are you about to start bleeding? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with me. And like the heart goes away, but like 36 hours before that, it was all of a sudden we were at war, and I've lost track of the time. I've lost track of her cycle. But there's an energy about those tips and it's just hard on my tism. It's just hard because I don't have a very good judge of when she's actually upset with me and when she's not as is. And that's something on me that I work on every day. And so in those moments, I'm glad and really blessed and honored that I have figured it out and she shared me how to tell, and I'm able to read my partner really well and get it sussed out for us both. Because since then, it's been easy just to be like, oh, say your shit, feel your stuff. I'm here. I don't have to feel a way about it. But yeah, the heart is the having to use my alert system when I've lost track of her cycle.
Yeah.
And I know it's not fun for you. That's why I say
no, but I think we can figure it out. Like, as silly as it sounds, I'm like, there's actually apps where I can like share where I am in my cycle with you, or we.
That's why I set like a reminder the 2 days before. Be like, alert! Alert! Hey, it's not you, my nigga. It's not you, my nigga. That's just what I wanted to say. And I could look at my phone and be like, okay, yeah. Now it's just, okay, now I'm just here. Because it is just knowing.
Like, we can either, like, I can write it when I do your calendar every month.
Just a little red circle.
Be like, here's your window of days.
No, like, and genuinely, this is not like her responsibility. This is not about that, but it is like we agreed to do this life together and have the open and honest conversations about it. And it is, my heart is not that she bleeds. That makes it very easy. It's a function of nature. It's a stupid, you know God to do because of that shit. But like that's A plus B equals C. I can deal. I handle. I support the mood, the elevation and mood swings, the holy shit, the trying to start fights. Like we've talked about that shit. I can sit in that all day when I know that that's what it is. But sometimes my own shit gets in that way, and that's why I know with my partners, it's easier to track their cycle to know for many reasons. So I try to keep it in my head, but I have been all over the fucking map with my own mental health. So my heart is just that my alert system took 36 hours, and the warning signs are there, like there's a very different energy, but I should have been able to suss that out. My heart is that it took me 36 hours, when to Jill's offer, we can have an app where I can at least know it's coming. And if all of a sudden we're riffing 2 times in the same day for no reason, I got it. We're good. Riff away, love. Yeah, that is my heart. I was going to share a heart from Caloran. My autistic son is panicking over his transition to high school. Already? That's tough. I can see why that's hard. Oh, I guess the school's coming to an end now. The end of all things familiar. That's really tough. I can see that's hard. The summer will be good if there's anything I can offer. It's trying to put him into some version of there's people out there older than you that are exciting going into school. I don't know if he's a sports person. Some hard with autistic kids sometimes. I was like running around. I needed to burn energy. Chase a ball for 12 hours a day? Yeah. Run for no reason? It's hard pass. What's your heart, though?
My heart is also my brain. I said this to Ethan, I don't know, yesterday? No, the day before.
The day before.
Okay, I have 2 hearts. I was reminded of yesterday, and now I have 2 things to say.
Oh, yeah. That's maybe it was the same day, but I'm like, there was another thing you said to me on the first day you clocked it.
It's hard because when I first came off of birth control, so if you've listened to the pod, you would know this already, but when I came off of birth control, I came off of birth control for like the first time in like, I don't know, 15-ish years, and then ended up pregnant approximately 4 days later. And then got an abortion approximately 5 weeks later. So my system had to process coming off of birth control for the first time in like 15 years. And then also terminating pregnancy, which terminating the pregnancy was not the hard part. It was never a, what am I going to do? It was I thought I was going to call and they would be like, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. When they said we can see you in 5 weeks, I said, what? Sorry, what? Huh?
It was that was one of the bigger blowouts of, not like a fight. That was just like a meltdown of, I gotta walk around like this for 5 weeks.
Like, I'm very grateful that we have healthcare. Anyways, not the point. There's a whole episode on that if you want to hear about that whole experience. Where it went was great. All the things were great.
Yeah.
There's a whole episode on that. But for like a good 6 months after all of that, I actually felt like I was going clinically insane. Like, I was like picking fights with Ethan all the time. I like didn't really like people. I was like, just like actually felt like I was going clinically insane. Like, I had so many moments looking at Ethan just being like, I don't know whose brain this is, but like, it can't be mine. I like wasn't really eating. I didn't have like any intensity with my workouts. It was just like tough sledding. And then I would say the last like 3 months I've felt really like settled day to day. And I feel like I'm like not going to the psych ward. Like, I just am like, oh, my brain feels regular and I can regulate my emotions and I can do things throughout the day. But it's been really hard to come to terms with the fact that I'm like 98% sure I have PMDD. To Ethan's hard, there's like a 4-day span before I start bleeding. That's just like really tough sledding. And it's usually like one thing sets me off and then I just like can't get back from it. Like, I feel like I have no emotional regulation. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know why I'm crying right now. I'm just crying. And everything's like so personally offensive to me. And yeah, there's like a good 4 days where I'm just like, so it's not the full 4 days. It usually comes in waves, but I'll be like so short with Ethan. Or like something that normally wouldn't bother me is just like the biggest deal in the world. And it's been really hard to come to terms with the fact that like that's a thing I have, if that makes sense. For a really long time, I thought I would just like settle after coming off of birth control and then I would just like be normal and regular and fine. So it's been really hard to like accept the fact that like my brain's not normal and regular and fine coming off of birth control. And like, there is a thing that I have to deal with. And there is a thing I'm going to have to like spend time figuring out and like talk to my doctor and all the things. And that's just really hard to be like, great, I did this thing to improve my health. And now there's a new thing I have to deal with instead.
Mm-hmm.
My second hard is the fact that people don't train their dogs. I walk dogs part-time, and I've walked this dog so many times, and I'm aware of her behaviors, and for the most part, it's pretty manageable. But yesterday, I went to go walk said dog, and somebody was home. So I like walk in the front door, whatever, dog's outside in the backyard. And the person that was home is like the sister of the person's dog it is. And she's like, oh, she's just out in the yard, like I'll let her in. And I can hear her opening the back door. And as she's opening the back door, she's like, Kay, don't rush the door. This is not going to go well. Like the dog like scratches at the door when you walk up the steps if she's in the house. So like we're all aware of the dog's behavior. She opens the back door, just lets this dog like full speed sprint at me. And I knew she was going to jump on me. So I like moved my leg back, grabbed her out of the air and like pulled her to the ground. And she still caught both of my legs with her nails. And it was actually so bad. Like I'm like holding this dog by like the scruff of her neck and she's like sitting there whining. And I like wasn't looking at my legs because I was just like, I'm gonna look down and my legs are gonna be sliced open. Like she's probably like a 50-pound dog. Her nails were so fucking long. And I'm like scared to look at my legs. And I like look down and there's 3 scratch marks like down one on this leg and 2 down this leg. And you know when you get like scratched really hard by something and you can like see the blood like rushing to the surface of your skin, like I actually thought it was just gonna like gush out of my legs. And I just like handed the dog to the person that was home, and I was like, I'm not gonna walk your dog today. I'm gonna go deal with this, and I'm gonna call the owner of the dog walking company, but I'm not gonna walk your dog today. And she was like, of course, I'm so sorry, whatever, I'm so sorry this happened. And it was just like so annoying to me because like train your dogs. It's crazy to me that people will have dogs that are not trained and not behave well and then hire somebody to walk them. If you don't want to train your dog, you're going to have to walk them yourself. Like, I don't care. She gets excited, blah, blah, blah. No, you didn't train your dog. And I was like so frustrated. I like called the owner of the dog walking company crying. She was like, you don't have to walk her. I'll get the rest of your services covered. Like, do you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, if I was going to the hospital right now, I would not be on the phone with you. Like, she was like, do you need stitches? But like the fact that we're asking those questions, no, that tells me the behavior of the dog. And then I called my mom because she's a nurse and I was like, what do I do? Like, dog's nails are so gross. And then I started to like freak out a little bit about that side of things. Like, do I need to like get a shot? Are they going to get infected? And then Ethan opened the door and he thought I got attacked by a dog. And it was just a whole thing that could have been preventable by either like behavior management or just like fully training your dog.
Yeah.
So that was my second hard. I have a wicked bruise on this leg.
I think Michelle also shared a heart of toxic family members' energy and my energy and the need to regulate my nervous system.
Yeah, it's like so annoying that the healthy person has to do the regulating.
Mm-hmm.
I always see a post that's like, I have to go to therapy because my family members won't. And like, that's like so frustrating that like we have to pay the money and do the work and have the coping skills and regulate our emotions because other people are incapable of doing those things for themselves.
Yeah. I cried multiple times at work yesterday and even needed to remind myself, never mind someone else. That's what it says. I'm just reading it. Don't look at me confused. Look at them confused.
Oh, you have to remind yourself that you're bleeding, let alone remembering that somebody else is bleeding.
We are going to pivot to joys. Please keep sharing. We love that you're sharing. Pivoting to joys. Jocelyn starting us off. I mean, you're going to share in that joy. A matcha gift it's a joyous thing.
Yeah, that's a treat.
Hitting a joyous thing over you. Well, I don't like it, but that one does. I'm not the paddleboarder, but I would kayak happily for hours on end. What is your joy? Did you drop your phone?
My joy is I went for dinner with my family on Saturday night and I got to hang out with my cousin, and my cousin plays professional hockey in the States.
Oh, yeah.
Hear me when I say this. He plays for the Vegas farm team. That's important currently. And he obviously lives like just outside of Vegas, basically full time. He's home for like 3 months every summer. But he thinks this is the last summer he'll come home for his off season. He'll probably just start staying there because they obviously have all the facilities and stuff. But I spent a lot of time with my cousins, and that specific auntie as a kid, she babysat us all the time. She looked after us basically like all summer when my parents were working. So I spent a lot of time with 2 of my cousins, and it was just nice to like exist around him again. Like he's a professional hockey player, but he's still my little cousin. Like he's just like so funny, and the words he says, I'm just like, he ordered a bottle of wine. And
that shit's funny.
He orders a bottle of wine at dinner. My cousin's like 22, I think. He orders a bottle of wine at dinner. He's like, I'm going to get a bottle of wine. And the server goes, okay, which one? He goes, I'll get this one. Like, doesn't even say the name. Just goes, I'll get this bottle of wine. So we're off to a great start. You're not even like saying the words, just points to it on the menu. And the server's like, okay, cool. How many glasses? And he's like, no, like, I'll do the full bottle. And she was like, yeah, but like 2 or 3 glasses. He was like, no, like, I'm going to do the whole bottle. And all of us are like sitting there because after the second time, I like clock what she's trying to ask him. And he just keeps being like, no, I'll do the whole bottle. And she was like, no, I know that. But like, how many glasses do you want? My dad chimes in, just like saves the day. He's like, just bring him a straw. And then our server was like, oh, this is just for you. And he was like, yeah. Like the whole time. He was just like, I don't understand why this lady keeps asking me how many
multiple
glasses
and I want the whole bottle.
Like, no.
When Jill told that, I laughed hysterically. Like, I'm with your cousin. I'm saying exactly what I need from you. You keep asking me a fucking stupid question. So I need help.
But it's just like funny because our server was unaware of the fact that she's talking to a 22-year-old with money right now. So like,
I love that.
Like, you're talking to you don't know that this 22-year-old can afford to drink an entire bottle of wine at dinner. So
that probably
it was just like so funny. And just like the way he speaks, like, yes, he's a professional hockey player, but like, he's just my like cousin. And he always gets like so fired up because he's just like, Jill, your TikToks are like always all over my For You page. Like my auntie was like, oh yeah, Jill got sent candy the other day. She's like, you just get free stuff sent to your door. I'm like, bro, you play professional hockey. So it's just like so funny to sit in conversation because we're living such different lives, but that's still my little cousin.
Yeah. He's a fun kid.
And he said, you have a candy hookup? That's literally the dream. I'm like,
says
you have an NHL contract.
Yeah. Like he's like, and he's good. Like this kid will play hockey for a long time. Like it's not just like I know him good. Like I got to teach him how to fight before, like as he was signing his NHL. When he signed his NHL contract, the next step was his mom freaked out. And the nicest lady on the planet was like, I need you to learn how to defend yourself because you have a mouth. And then that's where, so I got to work with this kid, and he's like, he is good. It's a little bit fucked up.
But he's just a kid playing hockey.
Yeah, and he's just a kid, a boy playing a sport he fucking loves, and that he's stupid good at.
And he like paid for their family's like part of the bill, and he gets the bill, and he's like, oh, that bottle of wine really put us over the edge, Jet, like talking to his brother. I'm like, you are like, what? He's just like a 22-year-old kid playing hockey that happens to have professional hockey money and an NHL contract. Yeah, he has an NHL contract, but he plays for the Vegas farm team currently. It's his first real season. He got injured in his like rookie season on the farm team, so he didn't play most of his first season. So this is his first like full season, and he won Rookie of the Year.
Like he's like that Rookie of the Year on your first year in there
for the AHL, and he's the first player on the Henderson team to ever win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, pretty fucking cool. A couple of people agreeing to no contact thing, and then Kellen Wren shares their joys are. I finally bought a walking pad so I can game and walk at the same time.
Nice, don't fall off.
I'm saying, put the fucking guardrails up so you can have something at least in your periphery. Because the worst is when you.
I ask Ethan all the time. I'm like, do you think I could play a video game and
You
walk
could.
on the? He's like, no,
Absolutely.
because I would go with my character.
Like I can do hockey, but like hockey is just enough. But if you're running, like the hardest part about shooters is you're running, and don't care how hard you try, you're gonna fall off that. Anyways,
my dad typically has pretty good solutions. It was
that was just funny.
funny because my dad was just like, I'm gonna solve this problem for everyone. Just bring him a straw. Just
Yeah.
bring him a straw.
Oh yeah, my joy was a specific moment from the hot meal event this weekend. So we got there as we do, start making food, and people show up. So the place that we do this at, Rock Soup Greenhouse and Soup Kitchen in Wetaskiwin, is a community center. So they have a bunch of projects on the go. They open at like 10 a.m. They go. People are in there out picking stuff up, getting food, getting clothing, getting whatever they need. Some just come to hang out. Some help support. They do arts and crafts. They do outreach and stuff like that. So people are there all day. Start making food about 10. And then when I start to bring food out, I'm bringing the last thing is the meat always. And when I do that, someone says, one of the leaders asks if I can wait, if they can make a spirit plate. And I don't know what that is, but I've worked around enough Indigenous people and in their culture enough to know that it's important. And my job is to say, yeah, and respect it. So they build one, and I don't know what's going on. But basically what gets told to me after is that someone from the community walked in shambles, like in just distraught, but they only knew that she was distraught because someone finally clocked her after like 45 minutes of her wandering the store aimlessly. Come to find out that they lost their grandkid that morning and had nowhere to go, didn't know where to go, was just in shock. And so for someone like me, food is always ceremony. I love cooking for people. I love making food for people. I love new connections, friends. I want people in my house eating my food. This is how this whole thing started. Client meals and this community meal, and just sharing and loving on people through food, through sustenance. But to be in a place where someone just happened to walk in on the only day that month that I'm going to be there, putting on a hot meal event, the second one of its kind, and then to be a part of something with the food that I made, every piece of food that I put on, everything that I touched, everything that I offered them was put on the plate, and they took it outside with this person and a couple of the elders, and they ceremonied, and she got to feed her grandson one last time. And it's cool to know that I'm exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, exactly what I need to be doing. So that's my joy.
Yeah, sometimes the universe really delivers on the reminders you need that you're doing what you need to do. And I talk about this all the time in so many different ways, but we just got to be paying enough attention to clock the reminders and the signs and whatever you want to call them. But there will always be reminders that you are exactly where you should be and exactly where you need to be. Yeah, just cool. And I'm glad they chose to share, because they easily could have just like done it and not, like, they don't owe anyone an explanation.
To directly involve me with people, like the owner of the whole space came up and pulled me aside. He's like, "Hey, can I chat to you for a sec?" He's like, "I just wanted to explain the spirit plate to you." And I said, I can like suss it together, but please share what you choose to. And then he told me the story and just thanked me again and again for being there that day, like, because it would have done something for her. But yeah, to be a part of a ceremony like that, what an incredible honor. Yep.
Okay,
Holy.
we had a question come in when we were live on the podcast page. If you're listening to the podcast being like, what the heck, you go live? Yes. Every Wednesday when we record, we go live on TikTok on the podcast page at Shifting the Lens Podcast.
You
can expect us to go live anytime between like 10 a.m. MST and like 1 o'clock. Just kind of depends on our schedule time of the day.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
we had a question come through that said, was it difficult to navigate the first intimate connection with a woman after only men?
Well,
That question obviously applies to me, in case you're confused.
Was it?
On who it applies to. Yeah, I think the firsts of anything are intimidating. I don't know if difficult is the right word I would use. I was nervous. Like, I was nervous to mess it up. I was nervous to do it wrong. I was nervous to not know what I was doing. And I'm very thankful that I have a partner that is knowledgeable in that field of just in that field. I didn't need to put an of after that. And it was a lot of asking Ethan questions, like a lot of sharing my like fears and what I was scared of and all the things with him. And he frequently reminded me that like I'm a woman, so I probably know what they like or don't like. And that I'm also just like allowed to say the thing out loud. Like, I'm allowed to be like, hi, I'm new here. I don't have to pretend like I know everything right off the bat, and I don't have to like put on a performance for anybody. It was hard. Specifically, it was hard for me because we were in a triad for so long, but I didn't gain a ton of experience in that triad because we navigated some health issues with our partner. Issues is the wrong word, just some health things with our partner. So I had dated a girl for like a really long period of time, but I didn't have a ton of experiences to go with that. So I always felt kind of like awkward, I guess, being like, oh, have you dated women before? I'd be like, yeah, I had like a girlfriend for however long. And then people would automatically assume because of dating a woman that I had like all this experience with women. So that was kind of tricky in my brain to be like, yeah, I've dated a woman and had like an emotional connection and whatever, a longer relationship. But then I also didn't know how to tell people that I didn't really have a ton of experience. If that makes sense.
It's not my story to make sense.
Yeah, it was just like tricky to navigate because yeah, people would be like, oh, you've dated women, so then you have experience with women. And I would just be like, sure.
Kinda.
But it was like anything, like once I got the first time out of the way, I was like, oh, this like really isn't a big deal.
No, and that was most of my time I spent just reassuring Jill that it's not actually different. And similarly to that sentiment, it's whenever it does finally happen, it's just going to be like, oh, I knew exactly was that thing. This is that. It's exactly all of that. So, I think that it wasn't necessarily hard as it was. There's lots of gay panic. There's lots of questions and uncertainty, but that's with everything new. So, yeah, hard is it's just a part of the process.
Yeah, and I think we would all be better off if we didn't think intimacy and sex had to be this like perfectly planned, no errors, sexy thing. Like if we were just like, I'm gonna try a new thing, I'm gonna do a new thing, and like maybe it'll be awkward, maybe it'll be messy, maybe it won't go as planned, maybe it'll be funny. Like if we didn't put all these like it has to be perfect and sexy and like it can just be a thing and it can go however it needs to go, and then you can learn from there. Like even with Ethan and I, like still when we try new things, like sometimes it doesn't work, and that doesn't mean it was like a waste of time or we shouldn't have done it. It's just like, oh, okay.
On to the next thing it is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think they can't like say their shit out loud, and I think that gets us into a lot of like uncomfy situations where you can just like say your fears and your nerves and your things out loud, and if the person you're exploring with is safe and somebody you should be exploring with, they're like not gonna think that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, do you find it hard to navigate like new scenes, like either with me or with other people, like when people request something that's like not your norm of you? What is your process?
Uh, I think everything new comes with its own worries and concerns. Lots of the things deal with pain or play with impact or a version of rough. And even if it doesn't, anything new, I'm trying to think of something that's like less violent. Candle wax. But that's not new to me, but like, yeah. When it's new to people, I can speak to it from that more often. New to me comes with a level of extra care of making sure I cover my conversation as well, and communicating, setting boundaries, expectations, all the things extra well. Like I'm fucking pretty good on the normal, but when it's something new, it's like this is reminders and reassurances of, especially like, hey, this is, remember that this is new. We are trying something together. I'm not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. We're going to move through this as a team, in scene, but to the best of our ability. And things like that. So there comes like with an extra deep level of care and concern for the process and the outcome of the scene. But to second that is also, there's not much that's new for me anymore. Very few things have I not experienced, but like you could bring up a scenario that maybe I haven't played in, set and setting. We have tossed ideas around about playing in the woods, which sounds like a lot of fun until people exist. So like having understanding and whatever those conversations are about going into those spaces, it's just extra care. It just means I have to take extra time. Navigating it is that simple. People's new experiences are a little different, I think, because I have the expertise already, I have the knowledge. Setting their expectations when it's new um, is really just the last piece of safety for everybody's brain as we enter into these new spaces. It's new because this connection is new. That actual thing that's happening isn't new for me. If that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, and I think you're really good at like meeting people where they're at. And just being fine with where they're at, which like sounds silly because why wouldn't you be fine with where somebody is at? But I also know that's not the norm in a lot of spaces.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people come with this idea of what they want, and my job is to not challenge them, but make sure it's exactly what they want and actually what they want. And that comes with challenging the reason behind the desire. Not because I need a reason. No, I need you to have a reason. Not just because I saw it on TV. I saw it on some TV show. I saw it in a porn once. Um, it's all, again, and always. It's always conversation. My job as the dominant, the one that's holding the space for this thing to happen, has to have the right questions and the right conversation to ensure my safety as much as their safety, before you even get and have the actual discussion about what play is being had. In that discussion, the same thing is true, if not more so. Stop that.
Yeah, I also think there's like an expectation in so many of these spaces to like know everything already. And that applies to like BDSM and kink, and that also applies to like queer spaces of like you have to somehow already know the things and have the experience and have the skills, but nobody wants to teach.
Yeah.
And that becomes like really dangerous because even for myself, like I was like, oh, I just won't tell people that I don't have experience, like intimate experiences with women. Like I'll just like, I won't tell them and I'll just figure it out. And like feeling like you have to know things and you can't say like, hey, like I'm new here and I don't know things, can become really dangerous really quickly in, especially in like kink and BDSM spaces, but also just in like intimate experiences in general. But I think in both spaces, there's like these weird rules. And I said this earlier, like there's all these boxes you're supposed to check before you're allowed to participate in said spaces. And as a bisexual human, like there's, and this comes up every Pride Month, of like there's so much judgment and stigma around bisexuals. Like lesbians won't date bisexuals because they still like men. So if you also like men, there's no way you can like women. And people that have been gay for a really long time are not interested in like dating baby gays because I don't want to be your experiment. And then there's like the whatever, I forget what the term for it is, but like lesbians that have never been with a man, they won't sleep. Yeah. They won't sleep with women that have been with men ever. And like there's just like, we want people to have experience and be gay and be confident in who they are and not be figuring it out. But like nobody's willing to give people the time and space to figure it out. And I said this to Ethan earlier, like I have to be gay for long enough, and I have to be gay, which like I am, but not gay enough because I still like men. So then where do you want me to go? Because I can't go over there because I still date men. And I can't go over there because I haven't been gay long enough.
For the record, this is what mixed babies feel like.
Fair.
No, I'm not even being cute. This is I speak on this around. This exact feeling is specifically, like aggressively, white black babies have this.
Yeah, like I'm not enough of this, so I can't go in that space, and I'm not enough of that, so I can't go over there.
I've been beaten by more police officers than most black people in this province, country. I won't say continent because the states are fucked up, but like really in this country as a teen. I didn't know that was a problem until I was an adult. That's how black I am to everybody else, but not black enough for my community. Too black to enjoy country music. Black people made country music.
Yeah, it just gets tricky when
the black part of me, by the way, abused me. Where that comes from. The white was the only semblance of safety I had left. That's a tough one when white's good, black's bad.
Yeah, we just put up so many walls for people in so many spaces, and we like claim to be inclusive and accepting and all these things, except only if you can check all these boxes. Then you can be included and safe. Yeah, it's a conversation that comes up on social media every Pride Month because there's always posts that are like, for the record, bisexuals are the B part of the letter. Like, bisexuals also belong here. Just because you're in a straight passing relationship does not mean you're not queer. Like, yeah, I just think we live in a world that is still, like, no pun intended, so black and white. And if you fall somewhere in the middle of those things, you just like don't really get to.
You really think that would be great? Like I still get pissed off about that sometimes. Yeah. Sorry,
but you just like don't really get to go anywhere. Like I'm not a lesbian. I'm too gay for the straights, but I'm too straight for the lesbians. And then you put on top of that I'm polyamorous. So now the monogamy world has a problem. So I feel like, and I notice it on dating apps sometimes, I'm just like, where do you guys want me to go? Because there'll be like bios of lesbians that are like, I don't date bisexuals. They're like bios of people that have been gay their whole life that are like, if you're newly gay, like I'm not interested. How do you expect people to stop being newly gay if you don't let them into the gay spaces?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't think it's fun. So we just keep making it build spaces for people to exist as they are.
Yeah. And there's so many layers to me existing as a queer human I am, because then people tack on the like, well, you have a male partner, so like, are you just interested in a third? No, like there's just like so many things where I feel like I'm always having to like justify the way I choose to exist for other people. Like, yes, I promise I'm gay. I have some experience with women, but I also like haven't been gay that long. Yes, I have a male partner. I'm still gay. I'm polyamorous, but you don't have to date us both. Like, I'm just over here being like, explaining myself. Cool. But yeah, that was a good question. It, like I said, it came through on the live, and like it is a question that sparks lots of conversations. Have you guys ever have like I feel like we always get the questions of like, do you get jealous? Do you date solo or together? Whatever. Like if you have curiosities about like specific situations, whether they apply to you or not, like I do not know the person that asked. They could be asking that just out of curiosity. They could be asking that because it's something they're currently processing in their own being. Like if you are curious about things you know that we have navigated and experienced and you're like, how the fuck did you do that? You're always welcome to ask. And if you ever run out of a character limit somewhere, you can just shoot us a DM. We had somebody reach out looking for support with like a situation in their like personal life. We are always honored that you guys value our advice. So if there's ever anything going on in your life where you're like, can you walk me through this on the pod, but keep it anonymous? We are more than welcome to do that. We are more than happy to do that as well. You are more than welcome to ask. We are more than happy to answer.
It took me a second to suss out what was wrong with it because it was so close. My delay was hearing, being like, where? There it is. Way on the top.
You can catch a podcast at Shifting the Lens Podcast. You can catch me at Coach Jill April.
Fight me on this. And Sir Lips.
I'll catch you guys next time.